Hi everyone, I'm just recording this short video to convey a couple of important messages to you. And I've titled this video as Saving Lives. So I think as the title gives it away that I'm going to talk about what you can do in healthcare profession to help save lives. What could be your contribution? Now, the amazing thing about healthcare profession is that by working in this profession, you're able to touch other people's lives in a way no other profession can. So working in healthcare industry allows you to nurture your desire to help others while earning a living. Indeed, there are a few professions where you can touch the life of others and make a difference in them the way you can in the healthcare industry. You could help save a life or help bring a new one in the world. People who are physically or mentally unwell and vulnerable, they come to you seeking help. So you are in an amazing position to help those people fight through the challenges that they are facing. Now, in doing so, in providing healthcare to your patients or clients, sometimes certain errors can occur. And the commonest one of those are patient identification errors. Now, patient identification is an important initial part of the care process in health institutions. The main purpose of proper patient identification is to prevent errors and serious harm to patients. All right, misidentification can seriously affect the provision of health services, and some examples are listed there. Wrong diagnostic testing, problems with medication administration, transfusion errors, wrong person procedures, and the discharge of infants to wrong families. Imagine what sort of disastrous consequences this would bring. So, trying to prevent patient identification errors is one of the important goals in a healthcare institution. Now, let me give you a few points which are important, which you should be part of your work ethics. So, it is the primary responsibility of healthcare workers encourage the use of at least two identifiers. For example, patient's name and date of birth or address. Standardize the approaches to patient identification. Encourage patients to participate in all stages of the process. So patient education is a very, very important aspect. Now, I will expand a little bit on this, that how can you play a role in preventing these patient identification errors. So let me divide these into three main categories. The first one is put systems in place. So make sure that the healthcare organization that you are part of has systems in place, emphasizing the primary responsibility of healthcare workers to check the identity, encouraging the use of, as I told you, at least two identifiers, standardizing the approaches to patient identification among different departments, different areas in the healthcare institution, providing clear protocols for patient identification, and incorporating training or procedures for checking and verifying a patient's identity into the orientation and continuing professional development of healthcare workers. So it should be part of training. All right. The third and another important aspect is patient education. Never underestimate this one. So patients should be educated to take charge of identifying themselves properly. Now, sometimes you could hit challenges like language. The patient doesn't speak the language you are speaking. So there comes the role of interpreters and so on. Okay. So all these are important for you to help prevent patient identification errors. There are heaps of resources available online by WHO, the Joint Commission, so you can read those documents. Australian Commission on Safety and Quality in Healthcare, and they have a lot of guidelines and resources to guide you through this. Now, this was the first purpose of this video, to give you a clear message that you should play a very proactive role in preventing patient identification errors. And now I come to the second objective of this video: develop good habits in communication and identification. So the short-term goal of this video is to talk to you about the exam answer sheet that we use here at CDU. So this is the typical sheet that you will get in your exams. It's a bubble sheet. You have to shade the circles very clearly. Okay, so let me just go through what you should do during the exam while filling the answer sheet. You have to write down clearly the unit code and unit title, put your name, write down your student ID, and shade the circles for your student ID. All right, so let me show you an example. This is how you do that. You put your name, your ID, and you shade the circles for your student ID. All right, another example, just to show you how you do that. And same thing, the way you shaded the circles for your student ID, you will do it for the questions, right? The right answer that you have chosen. So shade the circles nice and clean. Now, this is how your answer sheet should look like. Okay, and this is how it shouldn't look like. Now I'm going to give you some examples, and all these examples are from real life. I've seen all this and a lot. So the purpose of this video, as I told you, the second objective of this video was to make sure that you develop these good habits from now, that you fill the answer sheets very, very carefully and avoid any problems afterwards. This would be problems like student identification errors, right? Getting bad grades in the exam. The consequences could be drastic, right? Okay, now let's look at some examples which are not to be followed. Don't do that. The optical reader will not be able to pick it up. Neither this one. Okay, so don't put a tick or a cross over the answer that you want to choose. Do not shade two circles. You won't get a mark for this question. And if you have shaded two circles, and you think, okay, I'll put a tick mark on the one that I think is the right one, the machine won't read that. Okay, so you'll get a 0 for this question. If you have shaded two circles by mistake, rub one completely. Only then the machine will be able to pick up your choice. And don't circle around the circle. You have to shade the circle. Another common error. When you are shading the circle, you have to shade it completely so the alphabet is not visible clearly. Otherwise, the optical reader will not be able to pick this one up either. And if you have shaded a circle and then you decided that is not your correct choice and you have shaded it with a pen, you can't rub it off, and you think, okay, what I'll do, I'll just put the correct answer there, right? That won't help either. So make sure you use a pencil, preferably a 2B pencil. Shade the circle completely. Okay, and remember these common mistakes and not to do them in the exam. Okay, so the take-home message of this video is the long-term one, which is be responsible. Make sure that when you are working in real life in a healthcare institution, you play your role in preventing patient identification errors. That would be a great service to the community. Now, second message, which is the short-term message, is fill up the exam sheets properly. Now, remember these three things during the exam. Manage your time well. Keep a track of how fast you're going. Then the second point is keep yourself well hydrated during the exam. And the third point is fill up the answer sheet as if someone's life depends on it. All right. I hope I was able to convey my message loud and clear to you. So with this, I'll say goodbye and my best wishes for your exams. Take care and bye bye for now.